Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for July 23rd, 2020 from 2 Samuel chapter 1, David hears of Saul's death. David was out defeating the Amalekites and returned home to Ziklag when the Philistines defeated the people of Israel, so David didn't initially know about the death of Saul yet. Verse 2, "And on the third day, behold, a man came from Saul's camp, with his clothes torn and dirt on his head. And when he came to David, he fell to the ground and paid homage. And David said to him, 'Where do you come from?' And he said to him, 'I have escaped from the camp of Israel.'" Verse 4, "And David said to him, 'How did it go? Tell me.' And he answered, 'The people fled from the battle, and also many of the people have fallen and are dead. And Saul and his son Jonathan are also dead.' Then David said to the young man who told him, 'How do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead?' David was trying to verify this person's story. So the person told him about the encounter he had with Saul. Verse 8, "And he said to me, 'Who are you?' I answered him, 'I am an Amalekite.' And he said to me, 'Stand beside me and kill me, for anguish has seized me, and yet my life still lingers.' So I stood beside him and killed him, because I was sure that he could not live after he had fallen. And I took the crown that was on his head and the armlet that was on his arm, and I have brought them here to my Lord." Then David took hold of his clothes and tore them, and so did all the men who were with him. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and for Jonathan his son, and for the people of the Lord and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. Please notice that David also weeps for the house of Israel and for Saul, besides Jonathan. Jonathan was a friend, so you would expect David to weep for Jonathan. But David could have said about Saul and those who followed Saul, they got what they deserved. But instead, David mourned for them. And after the time of mourning, verse 13, "And David said to the young man who told him, 'Where do you come from?' And he answered, 'I am a son of a sojourner, an Amalekite.' David said to him, 'How is it you were not afraid to put out your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?'" Remember, David didn't even allow himself to kill Saul, even though he had two opportunities. And you also may remember Saul's own armor-bearer was afraid to kill Saul, so Saul had to end his own life by falling on his sword. So this young man obviously was lying. Verse 15, "Then David said to one of the young men and said, 'Go execute him.' And he struck him down so that he died. And David said to him, 'Your blood be on your head, for your own mouth has testified against you, saying, I have killed the Lord's anointed.'" Even though David was anointed as the next king, he was going to allow God to take care of Saul. David figured out by the story that the young man told that the young man was an Amalekite, that he was lying. So yet David judges him by his own words. David wasn't going to usurp authority, but he was going to administer proper law and order. Likewise, as Christians, we should never be afraid of law and order. And if authority is given to us, we should properly administer it to the best of our ability. Join me again tomorrow as we hear that David is anointed King of Judah. God's peace and many blessings be with you. Thank you for watching, and please share this video with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for watching.